Whether you are a grandmother, a mother, an auntie, or a woman who doesn't have children around her, everywhere that you walk, every person that you touch, you are leaving a lineage of who you are behind. Yes, you are this powerful. If you're like me and you're walking this line of reckoning yourself with the horror that we live in the world and also the absolute beauty, then this is really for you to hear, love. You know that you can't hang out in acknowledging what's happening in the world, the horrible things that are going on, or it'll take you out. You'll go down into depression or sadness. So I really invite you to hear my words now. If you are walking this path, that means that you are here to create a new lineage on this planet, a lineage of what true love, heart love means. Not just romantic love, not just love that's reserved for your children, but the true experience of love, which is connection, which is understanding, which is curiosity and compassion, with boundaries that speak of self-care and self-respect. You are so much more than the money that you make at work, the love that you pour into your children, your home, or your husband, or your friends. This is how I see you. I feel you. Gold swirling energy that moves up and down and all around, sparkling out, touching and impacting everything that you interact with, whether you're aware of it or not, from plants and trees to cats and dogs and animals, to the ocean, to the rivers, and the people that you touch. And I speak this really clearly right now because this has been one of the greatest lies we've been told, that we are not as powerful as we are. And you, lovely, are so powerful. You create so much impact in the people's lives that you touch. The ocean, she craves your attention. The bird calls that you hear that you're like, oh, there's the sound of the robin or the chickadee or the hummingbird. They are calling for you. When you have children who stare at you and they're looking at you with their big wide eyes, that's because their souls have not yet forgotten the truth of where they come from, and they see you on the edges of understanding that there is more to this existence than what we've been conditioned or taught to believe. And your ability to remember this truth will transform your life and the life of everyone around you. To embody this knowing that you are here to embody love. The only way to truly embody this force, and when I say the word love, it does not even give it justice to what I mean. As I've said already, this is not romantic love. This is a force that births ideas, that births creative innovation, that allows a stranger who you pass on the street and you just give him the sweetest smile or acknowledgement, hope to live another day. This force is from Creator, God's source, what you will. And you hold this inside of you. But there are blocks that we have been conditioned into, that we were raised by, either through our families or the different types of systems, schooling systems, religious systems, that block us from remembering this truth. And I'm going to list them off and go into some depth around them now. These are the 5 blocks that fracture us away from this lineage of love that we're actually here to remind and remember ourselves and to other people. The first one is self-abandonment, and this one is so important. We have been conditioned through our world, right? That to be selfish is bad or wrong. And you may have a conscious understanding of knowing that it's not wrong actually to be selfish. It's not wrong to put your needs first, to take care of yourself. However, at the same time, this self abandonment runs deep in our pores and it can be subtle when we swallow our words, when we really want to say something because we don't want to upset, when we say yes to helping someone out or going out for dinner when all we want to do is stay home curled up in bed, or the opposite, when we stay home when all we want to do is go out. This is self abandonment. When we decide that doing the job that we were trained to do is more important than following our heart's calling and our soul, this is self abandonment. When we have sex when we don't want to, self abandonment. We continually collapse our inner truth out of fear. And when we collapse like this, we hold the truth of who we are away from the world. And there is no way that love can move through us when we are in a place of self abandonment. The next one is emotional numbing. So, this one is so important. See, your emotions are part of your inner senses. And we are, whether we like it or not, emotional beings. We are actually here to create from our emotional experience. But if you're like everyone on the planet for the most part, we don't understand, right? We don't understand what emotions actually are. We have been conditioned again to feel like we're too emotional and to shut them down or to not trust our emotions. And so what happens is these like really powerful, energetic forces that are coursing through us, through our physical bodies, as well as our auras, our energetic bodies, they become erratic because any type of energy that is naturally designed to move, if it is held back, there's it's not good. I'm not thinking of the word that's appropriate right now, but it can be catastrophic. That's the word. Because what happens when you emotionally numb or hold back is a few different things. Those emotions, which are energy, start to ricochet around in your own body. And when they ricochet around in your own body and they don't actually move out of you, they cause you harm. They can cause pain in your body. They can cause illness in your body. And they often turn into depression or anxiety. Now, another way that emotions can cause harm is if you, and this is what I've done, is you hold them back for so long and then they come flooding out of you and they shock the people around you. They create these ripples because they are that powerful, your emotions, right? They are that powerful. This is why we're afraid of them. And they cause other people pain. And then in return, yourself pain. And so we have all of this conditioning around our emotions, holding them back. And this blocks us to this love that is available to us and to be given to others through us. Now, the third block is, and this is a big one, contempt, specifically contempt towards men, because of so many factors. And this is a deep one. And please know, I'm only touching the surface on this. I go so much deeper in this in my group program, Sanctuary. But because of the history of men and women, because there has been pain inflicted upon women from men, because of messaging from some waves of feminism where we don't need men, there has been this unconscious messaging that's been put into our systems that men are less than women. And I see this all the time. I see this in my clients who chuckle at, and I say this quote unquote, the stupidity of men, how they're just little children running around, how they can't multitask like women. And there are real misunderstandings, and this is what it is, between men and women. And unless we correct that misunderstanding within ourselves as a woman towards men, we will not be able to pass on this lineage to our sons, our nephews, and all the little children that are born into this world. And the love that you're here to give will not reach through cleanly. This is a big topic, and I'll do another video about this at a later stage. And I will say before I move over to the fourth block that it's a big one. This is a painful one, and we really need to begin to take responsibility for all of these blocks within us. We were conditioned, yes, into all of this experience. And if something happened to you as a child, I am so sorry. That was not okay. Whatever happened to you, whether it was around your emotions, whether it was around men, whether it was around having to abandon yourself to be safe, to get love, that was never okay. And today, as an adult, the only person who can heal that and tend to that and reckon yourself with that is you. And that's what we're here for. If you're in my world, this is what we're here for, because I will tell you that the most powerful thing that you can feel in your lifetime is to feel sovereign and responsible for your experience, to not be giving up your power to past experiences that happened to you, right? So moving on to number 4. The fourth block of blocking you from true, deep a lineage of love is a silenced voice. And I see this so much in the women that I work with. And I experienced this myself. And this came from my grandmother, actually, on my Dutch side, who literally had to have, I think my dad has said, around 10 surgeries on her throat because she couldn't swallow. And part of my goal of myself when I first started my self-development work was to find my voice. And this is a big one and it's linked to self-abandonment, emotional numbing, and our relationships with men, because it's linked to the vagus nerve, which is part of your nervous system, which is responsible of telling you whether you're safe or not. And it's linked to you speaking your needs, speaking your truth, speaking your voice, saying no, sharing your emotional expression. And when we shut down our voices, we shut ourselves away from the world. And then we end up feeling alone and like no one cares. And this is so painful. And so the fourth block that we do here together in my world is we open your voice. Mhm. We open your voice so that you can find the true frequency of your voice. It's going to be very unique to you. What you speak, what you share, how you speak, and how you share is going to be unique to you. And then the fifth block is our inherited patterns from both our own bloodlines. So, your generations before you within your family system, but also your inherited patterns from past lives. And there's not, I'll say this, what my experience has been around generational healing of patterns and past life patterns is it's much simpler than we think it is, because inherited patterns are unconscious. They're just unconscious ways that we behave without noticing it. And so much of how we go about our daily life is unconscious. When you even begin to question what you have inherited, whether it's from a past life or from your grandmother or great grandmother, it already starts to shift. And this is because you are bringing it from your unconscious mind, the shadows of your psyche, into your conscious mind. You are also hitting into systemic patterns, which we know from the morphogenetic field. We know that everything is connected through epigenetics. They know that when you heal something now, you heal generate 7 generations behind you, 7 generations in front of you. This is also in all of the shamanic teachings. We know this is true. As soon as you bring something like this into the conscious, it begins to shift. And you have all of your ancestors behind you supporting you in this pattern shift. You have all of your future generations of your family supporting you. You have all future timelines of yourself supporting you. And you have all the other past life or timeline versions of self supporting you. This is a big one, and it's a juicy one, and it's deep. And we go so deep in this in when you come and work with me. So deep. And we also hold it loosely, because this is where understanding that you are a holder, a lineage holder of love comes into play. Because if love is coming directly from source consciousness, it is simply your awareness of it that begins the shift. And then we bring along the physical body and the nervous system and the conscious mind so that you can hold the shift. So when you start to heal, right? Everyone's healing these days. We're all doing shadow work. This is so much bigger than you. And you don't have to think about it, how much bigger it is. This is not about pressure. It is understanding that you are a vital, vital point in this huge aspect of who we are as humanity. When you begin to take care of your voice, when you begin to heal people pleasing or stop abandoning yourself or being able to have boundaries that feel good for you, when you can be in right relationship with men, you are not just doing this for yourself or your children or your grandchildren. You're doing it for the entire world, for the children on the other side of the planet. It's kind of like, that saying that I'm sure you heard when you were a kid: eat all of your food on your plate. There are starving children. For me, it was always Africa. There are starving children in Africa. Well, then the reverse is true. Every time you do something that is good for you, that shows your self-love, you are supporting children on the other side of the world. Just breathe that in for a minute. Breathe that in. These aren't just concepts, they aren't just ideas. This is truth that lives in the body. It is part of your nervous system and your electromagnetic auric field that is connected to everything and everyone and the all. And this is the work that you do when you step in with me in Lineage of Love. In all of these videos that you watch here, this is what we're accessing. This is what we're opening to. And it's important to remember, right? It's so important to remember this, that none of this is a quick fix, but it is a simple one. Love on all expressions of love, whether it's cosmic, devotional love, whether it's a romantic union love, whether it's love to children, or it is love that extends to humanity or to your soul sisters and siblings and brothers. Love is a devotional act. It is a commitment to being willing to be curious, calm, compassionate, and kind. Doesn't mean we don't get all excited. I am someone who gets very excited. Doesn't mean that we don't get angry, because remember, one of the blocks is blocking your emotions. But it means a commitment to coming back to compassion, curiosity, kindness. Oh, and I forget the fourth one. You know what it was in the last bit that I said that. And that's to self and other. It is in your physical body, through your nervous system and your womb and your heart and your throat. So there's your body, nervous system, womb, heart, and throat, that you develop the capacity to hold abundance. Abundance of love, abundance of money, abundance of experiences, abundance of choices. It has to happen in the body. And if we hold contempt towards men, even if we think, when we look at our little boys, right? The little children, the little 3-year-olds, the 6-year-olds, my nephew is 6. If we hold any contempt towards grown men, those little children are feeling it. We have to take responsibility for that. And every boundary that you speak, every time you take care of yourself in the face of all of the conditioning that you had, that being selfish is bad, you are in devotion to this love. This lineage of love is not about waiting for other people to change. If we want to bring forth a more peaceful, loving world, then it happens first in us and our primary relationships. Because we can't stop fighting on the other side of the planet if we're still fighting ourselves and fighting within our closest relationships. So I'm so glad that you're here and that you've watched to this point. And I'm excited to dive in even further with you. Thank you so much for being here.